Prepare yourself. What you are about to hear will fundamentally shatter everything you thought you knew about your trading results. This isn't about the markets. It isn't about the news. It's not about the latest indicator or some economic report. This is about a hidden force, a silent, ruthless dictator pulling the strings of every single one of your trades from the shadows of your own mind. We're about to expose the deepest, most unsettling truths that have kept you trapped. Yeah, trapped in a cycle of loss. And reveal how to finally break free. Do not skip a single second. The most shocking revelation, the ultimate key to unlocking consistent profit, is waiting right there in the final minutes. Why do you keep losing? I mean, really, why? Why do you hit a wall, the sudden inexplicable barrier right before a breakthrough? Why does it feel like an invisible hand just snatches your profits right as they appear on your screen? It's not bad luck. It's not just the market's whims. It's a secret, a forbidden truth that the elite, the consistently profitable traders know, and the losing masses, well, they'll never discover it. For too long, this knowledge has been suppressed, dismissed as mere psychology, a soft skill, a secondary concern, while the real powerful mechanisms operate unseen, undetected. But today, right now, we tear back the veil. The truth is, there's a parasitic entity, a shadow version of yourself, feeding off your failures. It wants you to lose. It thrives on your frustration, your anger, your self-doubt. And until you understand its terrifying psychology, until you confront this insidious force, you will forever be its puppet, trapped in a cycle of stagnation and loss. This secret could be the exact reason your trading account is stagnant, why you just can't escape that relentless losing cycle. This is the difference between perpetual struggle, a constant uphill battle against an unseen enemy, and becoming a true market master, effortlessly carving out profits. You will never be one of the elite until you confront this chilling reality. Stay with us until the very end, because the biggest revelation, the key to unlocking consistent profit, is waiting in the final minutes. Who is this entity? How did it even come to exist? How does it actively sabotage your trading in real time, influencing every single decision? And most importantly, how do you sever its control? How do you finally turn the tide? This is the Profit Cabal, the place where trading's forbidden truths are exposed. All right, let's unpack this. You've probably heard about, the power of mindset in trading. But what if we told you it's far more than just mindset? Imagine there's this invisible force, like a doppelganger of your past trading self, actively working against your current success. This isn't just some vague metaphor, or some feel-good concept. It's a living, energetic entity, a powerful construct born from your own repeated patterns, and its sole relentless purpose to keep you tethered to the reality of your past losses, to anchor you in that familiar, painful space.
It's truly fascinating, this concept of the old frequency as a kind of spiritual parasite, an energetic thought form. It's not some external demon you see. It's your own creation. It's born from your repeated thoughts and emotions. Think about it. Every time you bemoan being unlucky in a trade, every time you replay a past loss, obsessing over it, every time you feel stressed or frustrated by market volatility, you are literally feeding this thing. These aren't just fleeting thoughts, or momentary feelings. They are thought forms, like individual stones building a mountain, or bricks cementing a prison wall around you. You have thousands of thoughts a day, right? Many of them are repeated patterns. Oh, I always lose money on Fridays. I can never catch a trend. My stop loss always gets hit. Over time, those piles of stones, they turn into colossal mountains. Every repeated emotionally charged thought and emotion is a building block. You're creating an entity that will seek to exist based on what it was made from. And this entity then sustains itself by generating the very emotions that created it, even if it leads to your financial destruction, even if it keeps you stuck in these endless cycles of loss. Consider the trader who consistently blows their account, month after month, maybe year after year. That cycle of fear, frustration, and anger after a loss. It isn't just an emotion, it's the fuel for this parasitic entity. It ensures the next loss becomes not just likely, but, almost inevitable. It needs your pain to survive. It feeds on it.
So if I understand this correctly, what you're saying is that what we often perceive as just random market volatility, those sudden swings, those unexpected drawdowns, often it's not truly random at all. It's our own creation, a reflection of our internal state, now actively sabotaging us. But the critical question is how? How exactly does this doppelganger, this old frequency, sabotage our trading in the live market? How does it actually pull the strings?
Well, this old frequency, this insidious doppelganger of your losing self, it has a sinister psychology. We can break it down into 4 chilling, distinct characteristics. First, it's needy. It craves your attention above all else, especially your emotional energy. When you obsess over a losing trade, compulsively replaying it in your mind, maybe recounting your past failures to anyone who will listen, you're feeding it directly. It's like throwing raw meat to a hungry beast. Where your attention goes, energy flows. That's a fundamental law. And this entity will subtly sway market events, shift your perception of conditions, even influence your own trading decisions, just to reflect your old losing patterns. All to keep you focused on it. Think about the trader who knows they should step away from the charts, right? After a string of losses, they tell themselves, okay, I need a break. Yet they find themselves compulsively checking, endlessly refreshing, drawn back to the drama of past trades, almost reliving the pain. That irresistible pull. It isn't just a bad habit. It's the old frequency demanding its fix, nourishing itself on your emotional energy, locking you into a feedback loop of misery.
Okay, needy is disturbing enough. But you also say it's sadistic scent. That sounds truly chilling. How can a spiritual parasite get pleasure from my pain?
Precisely. It thrives on pain, frustration, annoyance, and especially resentment. These emotions, which are like a potent drug to this entity, are also the glue. The glue that binds you to your old, unprofitable reality and knows exactly which buttons to push. Those moments of sudden, inexplicable market volatility, unexpected drawdowns right after you enter a trade, or those frustrating reversals that take out your stop just before a big breakout. These events aren't always random. They're designed, from your perspective, to stir up maximum emotional resistance, to keep you anchored in that familiar, painful cycle of loss. We call this the calculated pullback. Just when you start to feel calm about your trading, maybe you've put in the internal work, your account starts seeing consistent green. That's when the old frequency triggers a stressful event, a sudden, violent market move, an error in judgment that feels utterly out of character, a misentry that just haunts you. It pulls you back into the emotional turbulence it craves, making sure you feel that familiar sting of disappointment, anger, self-recrimination. It ensures its own survival.
So it wants me to suffer, just so it can feed itself. Wow. But you also claim it's scared? Why would an entity feeding off my losses be afraid of my success? That seems contradictory.
It's the ultimate paradox, isn't it? Yes, it fears its own extinction. The moment you truly strive for real, sustainable change, for consistent, effortless profit, the moment you begin to shift your frequency towards genuine success, it projects its fear directly onto you. It makes you unconsciously associate success with fear, with loss, with vulnerability. This projection, it leads to hesitation, to retreating from promising trades, or to brutal, inexplicable self-sabotage right at the cusp of a breakthrough. It understands instinctively that fear pollutes your frequency. It's like static on a radio signal, overshadowing your desired outcomes and manifesting the worst-case scenario, that debilitating fear of missing out on a trade you know you should take, or the fear of losing everything if you take a calculated, well-researched risk. It's often not truly yours. It belongs to the old frequency, desperately trying to stop your progress to keep you small and predictable. Think of a trader who closes a profitable trade far too early, just because of an irrational fear it'll turn around. They miss out on massive gains they'd planned for.
Or someone who meticulously backtests a robust, proven strategy, but then pulls out right before it's about to pay off, paralyzed by some unfounded fear of loss. That's the old frequency, projecting its fear onto your actions, preventing your evolution, preventing your ultimate victory.
And finally, you say this parasitic entity is reactive. What does it react to, and how does that impact our trading in the heat of the moment?
It's reactive to its own creation, basically, to your current state. Since the old version of you is in direct opposition to creating your desired reality, this entity will actively cause adversity in your trading, to short-circuit your thinking, overwhelm your conscious mind, keep you caught at a whirlwind of chaos and impulsive decisions. It doesn't want you to be aware of the true nature of reality, or how powerfully you're influencing it with your internal state. Every single emotional reaction you have, the anger at a sudden market swing, the frustration at a bad entry, the irritation at missing a perfect setup, the despair after a losing streak. Each one supercharges this old frequency, gives it immense momentum, and takes you on a direct detour back to your old losing reality, back to the very pain it feeds on. This is precisely why maintaining a calm, neutral internal state is absolutely crucial. Emotion is a supercharger of frequency. Remember that. It gives powerful momentum to whatever thought or reality it's attached to. Lose control of your emotions, and you lose control of your trading outcomes. Simple as that.
So this isn't just about having good psychology. This is about a tangible, self-created force dictating our results. What does this all mean for us then? How do we break free from this insidious cycle? How do we stop feeding this hidden enemy that lives within our own minds?
Awareness. Awareness is the only way out. It's your ultimate weapon. The moment you become aware of this old frequency at play, the instant you recognize its subtle whispers, its desperate pulls, a hidden pathway opens up. You gain a powerful choice. Live by default, blindly reacting to market chaos and the parasitic pull of your past, Or live by design, consciously responding from a place of power, from a place aligned with your desired reality. Reacting is allowing the external nature of reality to imbalance your internal state, to dictate your next move. You've been wired to think that you react to reality, that the market happens to you. But the brutal truth is reality reacts to you. Responding, on the other hand, that's viewing your current adversity, your drawdown, your missed trade through the lens of your desired reality. It's reframing the situation to be in alignment with where you're going, not where you are right now. Ask yourself in those moments of market stress, how would the version of me in my desired reality, the consistently profitable me, look at this volatile market right now? How would they feel about this drawdown? How would they think about this missed trade? If you can keep those questions right at the top of your mind while experiencing adversity, the blur on your mental lenses caused by that chaos, it will begin to clear. You'll start to see the opportunity, the lesson, the way forward, instead of just the pain.
Right. So this isn't about being nice or trying harder or wishing for better luck. This is about cold, hard, universal mechanics, a brutal, impartial truth that governs not just the markets, but, well, all of reality. You think the market cares if you're a good person. Seriously, if you've diligently paid your dues, worked hard, suffered through endless losing streaks, our intelligence has dropped a bombshell here, a truth that will shake your foundations, one the masses instinctively reject. Reality doesn't care if you're nice. It's a concept that directly challenges everything you've likely been taught about fairness and reward.
Exactly. The universe, and by direct extension the market, is a system of immutable laws. It operates indiscriminately. No bias, no judgment. Fire treats good and evil the same, right? Gravity treats the just and unjust alike. Rain falls on everyone, irrespective of their moral history. When it comes to your trading reality, the market registers only one thing: your frequency, your dominant state of consciousness. That's it. And here's a shocking secret, a truth the masses refuse to believe because it offends their sense of justice. The universe doesn't reward good people. It rewards those who reward themselves with a frequency which complements their desired reality. No more, no less. And here's the truly controversial truth, one that will likely offend most people, but we have to reveal it. It seems as if the nicest, most virtuous people often have the worst frequencies. They ultimately create the worst realities for themselves. They're riddled with low confidence, self-doubt, debilitating fear, chronic stress, creating a consistent frequency of suffering. On the other hand, it seems as if the most evil or morally questionable people often have the best frequencies. Brimming with ironclad confidence, unwavering certainty, an unshakable sense of self-worth. Their success, their consistent outcomes. It isn't due to immorality, it's due to frequency alone. Your moral code, your history of struggle, your self-pity after a loss, none of it means anything to the cold, impartial trading algorithm or to the universal laws governing creation. Your struggle doesn't earn you sympathy from the market. It simply reinforces a losing frequency. This is why you must stop moralizing the market. It doesn't care about your struggle, only the signal you're emitting.
So this isn't about being virtuous. It's about being aligned with the market's universal laws, aligning with its impartial mechanical nature. But for someone accustomed to struggle, to feeling unlucky, how do we become right to a force so indifferent, so seemingly cold? How do we calibrate ourselves to that winning frequency?
You want to command the market. You must first command yourself. This is the cold, hard, inescapable truth of true market mastery, the core secret of the elite. There is no manifestation without self-mastery. There is no manifestation without self-discipline. Most traders don't truly lack discipline. In fact, they're highly disciplined, but they are disciplined by their old frequency. They're disciplined in how they react to every market swing, how they label volatile periods as too risky, how they consistently focus on their past losses. To live a life you don't like, including a perpetually losing trading career, requires immense, often unconscious discipline just to maintain that old negative frequency. The first step to breaking this isn't to acquire discipline, but to realize your immense misdirected power. You're already powerful. You're simply directing that power the wrong way. All self-mastery at its core boils down to one thing: the ability to follow through on your own conscious commands. Simple. This means making your word law to yourself. Your ability to follow through, let's call them ATFTs, on even small, seemingly insignificant commitments.
Like sticking to your trade plan for just one session, or pausing for 5 seconds before an impulsive trade, or simply waking up at 7 a.m. when you said you would. These tiny victories build self-trust. The ego, that primal immediate gratification craving part of you, it's just the vehicle. Master it, or it will relentlessly master your trading decisions, leading you down the path of impulsive losses. Your mind keeps an internal score, okay? And the more ATFTs you accumulate, the more it trusts you. and the more the universe trusts you to materialize your desired reality.
This is the true, brutal training of the market's hidden elite, then. They aren't just reading charts or algos, they're mastering themselves. But what if your past, your history of losses, has locked you into a losing pattern? Accumulating failure after failure. What's the real compounding cost of that inaction, that resistance to change?
Well, the universal compound is either your greatest ally, propelling you towards exponential gains, or your worst enemy, locking you into ever-deepening losses. And it applies not just to money, but to frequency. The longer you're in a particular frequency, especially the losing one, the more it materializes. It solidifies into your current and future reality. Every emotionally intense losing trade, every moment of self-pity, every burst of anger, it reinforces that negative pattern deeper into your subconscious, like carving a groove deeper and deeper into stone. It's like a simple snowball rolling down a mountain, right? It gains momentum. It eventually becomes an unstoppable avalanche, burying everything in its path. Your losing streak isn't just a streak, it's an avalanche of self-reinforcing negative frequency, accelerating with every emotional attachment you have to it. The universe, in its impartiality, will simply multiply that frequency, whether it's negative or positive. Emotion is the breeding ground for this compound effect. It gives it exponential power.
So if you're stuck in a vicious cycle of losses, unable to break free, you're literally paying interest to the market on your failures, compounding your debt, reinforcing the very thing you desperately want to escape. What's the way out of this compounding debt, the self-made avalanche of negative outcomes?
Sacrifice. Not a financial sacrifice, mind you, not losing more money, but an energetic one. You must willingly, brutally sacrifice the old frequency that is compounded against you, that has become so comfortable, so familiar, even in its misery. The universe demands exchange, something gained for something given up. From ancient offerings to modern concepts of self-discipline, sacrifice is an inescapable universal demand. And here's another chilling truth. The most addictive substance in the universe isn't any drug, it's frequency itself. Your mind craves the familiarity of its current state, even if that state is misery, because it's a deeply ingrained form of addiction. To gain the new, to transform from a struggling caterpillar into a soaring, profitable butterfly, you must be willing to give up everything you've been. This means sacrificing deeply held old beliefs about money or trading, that it's inherently rigged, or you're destined to lose. It means shedding the conviction that you're somehow unlucky or not good enough. It means releasing your perception that the market is actively against you. It demands letting go of emotionally charged thoughts of past failures. Changing your focus from what you lack to what you desire. Altering your automatic reactions to market volatility from panic to calm. And fundamentally shifting your deep-seated expectations from struggle to effortless success. You cannot sit in two chairs at once. It's impossible. You are either clinging to the comforting misery of your old frequency or bravely embracing the radical unknown of your desired reality. The choice and the sacrifice is yours.
This is the ultimate decision point, then. Cling to the comfort and familiarity of past failures or brutally shed them for an entirely new trading reality. A reality where profits just flow. But what's the market's role in keeping you stuck in this cycle, perpetuating the struggle? It sounds almost intentional, like it conspires against change.
Well, the universe, from a purely mechanical standpoint, it doesn't want you to change. Not really. It's a system built on predictability, on efficiency. It strives for energetic equilibrium. It functions best with minimal deviation and has two primary, relentless mechanisms to ensure this consistency: magnify and maintain.
Okay, magnify and maintain. What does that mean for a trader battling market forces every single day? How do these mechanisms impact our P&L in real time? Give us some specific examples.
Right. So if you're in a state of stress about your trades, maybe agonizing over a potential loss, the market will present conditions to make you more stressed. It will seemingly conspire to bring about that very stress. If you're in a consistent state of scarcity about your account balance, maybe terrified of a margin call, it will use external events to make you feel as if you have less. It relentlessly magnifies your dominant emotional state. The universe, like any system, is addicted to whatever is sustaining it. It maintains that frequency. If you're consistently vibrating at the frequency of a losing trader, the market will do everything in its power to keep you calibrated at that level, to keep you locked in that cycle of loss. This is the esoteric, hidden explanation for that biblical verse. For whoever has, to him more will be given, but whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken away. This metaphysically explains why, in the material world, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. It's about frequency maintenance. When you find yourself in a losing spiral hitting stop loss after stop loss, watching profitable trades reverse right before your eyes, it's not just random bad luck. It's the market amplifying and reinforcing your internal state. You're not breaking the cycle. You're stuck in the wrong one because the universe prefers to maintain the signal you're already giving it. It's efficient.
So we can't break the cycle like smashing something apart. That's a fundamental misunderstanding. We have to switch it, like flipping a hidden switch in the universe itself.
Precisely. Like energy itself, cycles cannot be destroyed. They can only be transformed or transferred. The fundamental law of energy conservation tells us this. The first step to switching cycles, to shifting from the losing spiral to a winning one, is brutal honesty. Ask yourself, what is my predominant day-to-day emotional state regarding my trading? Do I typically feel defeated, frustrated, inadequate, constantly worried about financial security? Do I secretly feel like money hates me or that profitable trades are always for other people? You have to pinpoint that exact feeling. Then you must consciously, actively transform that feeling to its energetic opposite. How? By radically altering your concentration. If you consistently feel unqualified for profitable trades, for instance, instead of focusing on those moments of self-doubt and past failures, you must consciously, deliberately focus on moments when you felt capable, insightful, or even just slightly successful, even small ones from your past. Anything. This is how you literally starve the old frequency. You cut off its vital energy supply, and simultaneously you feed the new desired frequency. You are literally transmuting the energy by changing your internal focus, shifting your perception.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting and intensely frustrating for many traders because it goes against everything conventional logic tells us. The annoying law of the universe. It states, with cold impartiality, you can only have what you already have, and if you don't already have it, you can never have it.
Ouch.
This is the ultimate paradox for traders, isn't it? And it's precisely why so many chase their tails, running faster and faster only to stay in the same place. The more you desperately want profits, the more you repel them. Wanting is, in the eyes of the universe, a confession, a declaration. It's a declaration that you do not have. And if you don't already have it, if your internal frequency screams lack, then by the universe's definition, you can't get it. Think about it. The people that need money the most seem to have the least. The people that need money the least, the ones who are already abundant, have the most. This is an unfortunate reality, maybe, but it doesn't adhere to human morality or our ideas of fairness. It only adheres to what is, to the mechanics of frequency. So if I'm constantly checking my trading account, agonizing over every tick, needing that profit to hit my target, to pay bills, or needing it for validation, I'm actually pushing it away. I'm signaling to the universe, to the market, that I'm in a state of fundamental lack, creating a kind of magnetic repulsion.
Exactly. The market, the universe, interprets wanting as importance. And importance in this energetic context creates energetic space between you and your desired reality. The bigger the importance you attach to a profit, the bigger the energetic space, the harder it is to manifest. It pushes it further away. The secret, the hidden key, is having. Not by physical possession, not by seeing the numbers in your account yet, but by the universe's definition, your frequency, your internal mental and emotional declaration of who you are now. Think of those small, effortless wins you sometimes get, trades where you weren't stressed, weren't desperate, they just flowed. That's you unconsciously using the secret frequency of not needing. You weren't desperate for them, they just came to you. This is why obsession is repulsion. Desperation is disrespect to the universal laws. To activate this, to bridge that energetic space, you must look at your desired profit, your target, your ideal account balance as unimportant, insignificant, nothing. Neutralize it in your mind, like something you already possess and are almost tired of having. You have to embody the feeling of already being the successful, consistently profitable trader you desire to be.
This changes everything. It's not about chasing the money, it's about becoming the money, embodying that state of effortless abundance. But how do we achieve that ultimate internal shift to having when our current reality, our P&L, often screams lacking so loudly?
You will not materialize your desired reality until you live in heaven. And again, I'm not speaking of a religious location here. I'm speaking of a metaphysical state of consciousness. As ancient texts profoundly state, the kingdom of God is within you. This heaven is an internal state, inner calm, unwavering peace, profound fulfillment, a state of desiring nothing because you feel connected to everything, to infinite possibilities. Most traders, tragically, operate from hell, a perpetual state of survival mode, consumed by ego-driven fears, constantly in beta waves. Those are the fastest brainwaves associated with alert, stress, anxiety, and external vigilance. This hell is characterized by inner chaos, relentless conflict, chronic restlessness, no matter how much external wealth is pursued or lost.
So if I'm constantly stressed, hyper alert, in survival mode from the market's volatility, checking every news headline, every tweet, every report for danger, I'm literally blocking my ability to manifest wealth. I'm trapped in a self-made hell, preventing the very profits I crave.
Precisely. Beta waves prioritize the conscious mind, which is tied to the physical illusion and its perceived limitations. It's the realm of analysis paralysis, overthinking, second-guessing. The subconscious mind, the true gateway to manifestation, the reservoir of creative energy, is accessed in slower alpha and beta waves, states of deep relaxation, meditation, or profound trance. You cannot access the deep intuitive power of your subconscious, that reservoir of creative energy that brings forth your desired reality, if you are constantly living in trading hell, in a state of hyper-alertness, worry, and fear. This is precisely why deep relaxation is a non-negotiable prerequisite to manifesting consistently profitable trading outcomes. The flow state that top traders describe, it isn't some mystical, unattainable phenomenon. It's a deep internal relaxation that allows them to intuitively connect with the market's rhythm, to make effortless decisions beyond conscious analysis. It's the calm waters on which your ship sails smoothly to your desired reality, rather than being tossed in a stormy, fear-driven sea.
Right, the ultimate flow state for a trader. The key to effortless action and intuitive decision-making. But if it's not about working harder or even thinking harder, how do we actually get there? What's the practical blueprint for action to shift our entire energetic state?
Forget grinding harder. Forget working longer hours or endlessly backtesting 1,000 strategies. The brutal, immutable truth is this. You cannot outrun your frequency. You cannot outhustle your frequency. You cannot work your way out of your frequency. No amount of physical effort can overcome a misaligned internal state. Manifestation, true creation, demands alignment across 3 fundamental planes: mental, physical, and spiritual. The physical plane, your trading results, your P&L, is merely an effect. Your thoughts, your internal state on the mental plane are the cause. And your spirit, your subconscious, is the oven that bakes the cause into physical reality. Most traders are only operating from the physical plane, endlessly trying to change an effect with another effect, like a fly repeatedly banging its head against a closed window, never realizing the way out is to stop forcing the effect and change the underlying cause. Taking frantic action to become wealthy while being in the frequency of poverty will only lead to a reality of poverty, because your dominant vibration is one of lack. No action originating from a frequency of poverty will ever genuinely bring forth consistent wealth. It can't. This is the core multidimensional sequence of creation. The market's true blueprint for your success. It starts with consciousness frequency. That informs your intuition, which leads to subtle mental nudges, which dictate your action, which ultimately manifests your reality. Your intuition, those gut feelings about trades, the subtle nudges to enter or exit, that quiet inner knowing, it's merely a download, a reflection from your current frequency. If your frequency is losing, your intuition will guide you to losing actions, leading inevitably to losing realities. If your frequency is one of profit, your intuition guides you to the precise, effortless actions that align with that outcome.
So the market's true blueprint for success isn't out there in some guru's expensive course or complex algorithm. It's already inside you, waiting to be accessed. But how do we access it? And more importantly, how do we trust it when our past experiences scream warnings and tell us otherwise?
True manifestation isn't about trying to change external reality. It's about radically changing you. Your current trading reality, every win, every loss, every stagnant period, is simply what you are subconsciously demanding through your dominant frequency. And that powerful frequency is made of 7 interconnected critical keys. Your deepest beliefs about money in the market, your unshakable conviction, your perception of events, your emotionally charged thoughts, where your focus rests, your automatic reactions to market movements, and your underlying expectations. These 7 keys create your frequency. The common myth that thoughts create reality is a dangerous half-truth. Only emotionally charged thoughts manifest. Emotion is the true language of the subconscious, the very language the market responds to. Affirmations without genuine emotion are dead, empty words. If you're waiting for the market to give you peace, security, or relief, you are in a state of internal dependency, constantly chasing an external outcome for your internal state. That external reliance creates energetic space between you and your desired reality. The more you are internally dependent on external trading results, the more importance you signal to the universe, creating that exact distance, that very lack you're trying to escape.
So if you're postponing your feelings of relief, peace or financial security until your trade hits profit or your account hits a certain number, you're not only blocking it, but you're constantly reinforcing a state of lack and dependency. This is the ultimate paradox, isn't it? The harder we try to grasp it, the further it slips away.
Yes, exactly. If you're postponing those feelings until you see external results, you're unwittingly sending a powerful signal of lack to the universe, making the desired outcome even harder to achieve. The beauty of the ultimate technique, the secret of the elite, is that it effortlessly reduces this importance, allowing your desired reality to flow to you without resistance. Here's a simplified version of this elite technique, one that precisely targets this internal shift, hacking your subconscious to align with profit. Number 1, isolated visualization. First, relax deeply. Close your eyes. Allow your body to become completely still. Now, vividly imagine a very short, specific scene, perhaps a trusted friend or mentor commenting on your trading success in a natural, personal way. For instance, your friend puts a hand on your shoulder and says, "Wow, the market really delivered for you this month. You absolutely crushed it. I knew you had it in you." Include a physical sensation, like the warmth of their hand. Feel the genuine, deep emotion that comes from that success. Is it calm accomplishment, quiet relief, an expansive feeling of freedom? Keep the scene short, just a few seconds, and loop it vividly in your mind. Don't visualize the trading itself, visualize the feeling of the outcome. Practice this for a few minutes daily. This bypasses the conscious mind and speaks directly to the subconscious. Number 2, daily internal shift. Throughout your day, pick a single, simple sentence that your desired, successful trader self would naturally, effortlessly say. Repeat it internally to yourself throughout the day, anchoring yourself in the feeling of success as if it's already done. For example, profits flow to me effortlessly, or I am a consistently profitable trader. It's just who I am now. It's not about mindless repetition, okay? It's about truly embodying the feeling and conviction behind the words, no matter what your charts look like at that moment. This powerful two-step process convinces your subconscious that your desired reality is already real. It reduces the external wanting and the crippling importance. And here's the shocking truth that most never grasp, the key to rapid transformation. All manifestation is instant. It's always an internal shift, not an external one. There are no big or small manifestations of the universe. Every minor success you achieve, sticking to a trade plan when you wanted to deviate, controlling an emotional urge, finding a perfect parking spot, meeting a micro goal builds your manifestation muscle. It's evidence to your mind, to your subconscious, that you are capable of creating your reality, and that builds your conviction for the larger profits you seek.
This is the shocking truth then. You're already manifesting every single day, every single hour. But you're probably manifesting the wrong things because you're unaware of the immense power you possess. But what is the ultimate hidden force behind consistent results? What truly moves mountains in the market beyond all strategy and analysis?
Conviction. There's no creation, no consistent, effortless manifestation without conviction. This word, often misunderstood as mere faith, a hopeful belief is the absolute bedrock of reality creation. True faith isn't believing, it's knowing. You don't believe your own name, do you? You know with unshakable certainty. That unshakable knowing, that internal certainty, that is conviction. When biblical texts speak of having faith as a grain of mustard seed that can move mountains, it refers to this unwavering, absolute knowledge, not a fragile, hoping belief. It's the difference between hoping a trade works out and knowing it's simply a matter of time and execution because you've aligned internally.
So all those so-called lucky traders, or the ones who seem to effortlessly hit their targets even in chaotic, unpredictable markets, they didn't just hope, they knew it would happen. They operated from a place of fundamental certainty.
Yes, they operated from conviction. And that deep, unshakable conviction stems directly from self-trust. Your mind keeps a meticulous score. Every single time you follow through on a conscious command, whether it's sticking to your trading rules, getting up on time to prepare for the market, reviewing your trades diligently even when you don't feel like it, or tackling a difficult task you'd rather avoid, you build undeniable self-trust. The more you trust yourself, the more conviction you have in your own abilities, in your own judgment, and the more easily you can manifest your desired trading reality. Conversely, procrastination on reviewing your trades, ignoring your own meticulously set risk limits, constantly breaking your own established rules. These actions deplete self-trust. They sabotage your conviction. You're subtly telling your subconscious that you can't be trusted, and it believes you. It then manifests a reality that reflects that lack of self-trust.
This is the true trial then. You versus your old, undisciplined self. And the evidence for your winning reality, for your rising conviction, comes from every single time you keep your word to yourself. But what's the ultimate secret weapon of conviction? The invisible force that guarantees outcomes even before they happen.
Expectation. Expectation is creation. It's not just a feeling, it's an active, powerful force. Every time you said, I knew that was going to happen, whether it was a small annoyance or a significant win, you weren't just a prophet, you were a powerful creator. You were operating from a state of unwavering expectation. And tragically, most people unconsciously expect the worst, programming themselves to create it. They've been sold the idea of struggle, of market difficulty, of financial limitation by the collective narrative, and they've bought it, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, the market, the news cycle, the collective fear, they constantly sell us recession, difficulty, unemployment, unstable times, impossible odds. It trains us to expect these outcomes, to believe they're inevitable, and then we create them in our own trading accounts. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy on a grand scale.
Yes, you get what you expect. It's an immutable law. If you normalize suffering financially, if you normalize being consistently overlooked for profitable opportunities, if you unconsciously expect trading to be a constant struggle, you are programming yourself to receive exactly that. Your desired trading reality, your vision of consistent, effortless profit must become normal to you before it can become normal to the world, before it can materialize in your external reality. Think of that ancient biblical story, Elisha and the kings in the desert facing a devastating water shortage. Elisha told them, make this valley full of ditches. You shall not see wind, nor shall you see rain, yet that valley shall be filled with water. They prepared for abundance. They dug those ditches, even in barren conditions, even when every external sign pointed to drought. They dug ditches in the desert, expecting rain they couldn't see, couldn't feel, couldn't predict. This is the ultimate act of faith-based expectancy. So even when the market looks like a barren desert, even when all the indicators scream no hope, you must dig your ditches. You must expect the best. Prepare for the rain of profits. Refuse to let past disappointments or current conditions blind you to the inevitability of your desired reality. Your expectation creates your experience. And here is the true lever of power, the ultimate control point. If someone or something can control your emotion, they or it can control your whole reality. This is not an exaggeration. It's a profound universal law. Ancient wisdom states, he who makes you mad is your master. 1. When market volatility, a sudden swing, or an unexpected loss makes you lose your temper, feel that surge of anger, or spiral into frustration, you haven't just lost your composure. You've handed over control of your trading account, and indeed your entire reality, to that external stimulus.
So all those intense emotional swings after a big win or loss, the euphoria, the despair, the rage, that's the market controlling me. That's the external dictating my internal state, my future, my destiny as a trader.
Absolutely. Emotion is the largest shareholder of your frequency, the most powerful component. It's the true language of the subconscious mind, the language through which you communicate your desires and expectations to the universe. Affirmations, visualizations, they're all dead, powerless, without raw, genuine emotion to breathe life into them. Your heart, not your brain, produces the most powerful electromagnetic field in your body, 60 to 100 times larger than the brain field. It's the true gateway to your subconscious, to the universal creative force. For as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. It's about the heart, the feeling. Your emotional state must reflect your desired trading reality now, in this very moment. When negative emotions inevitably arise from market adversity, a bad trade, a sudden drawdown, they are signposts, not problems. They indicate you're focusing on something unwanted, something out of alignment. This is where you engage in emotional alchemy. Relax deeply, bring the adversity to mind, feel the emotion fully, intensely, without judgment, until it shifts to neutrality. Then, and this is the secret, extract the hidden seed. A new perspective, a profound insight that supports your desired reality. For example, if you feel anger after a losing trade, instead of letting it consume you, transmute it. Ask, what is this anger trying to show me about my attachment to this outcome? What insight can I gain from this discomfort that will serve my desired reality? Number one. This is how you transmute market pain into power, transforming negative energy into potent fuel for your desired reality.
This is how you master the emotional roller coaster of trading then. Not by avoiding the dips, but by transmuting them into fuel. But what about the external forces? The collective beliefs, the noise that tells us we can't succeed, that the game is rigged, that only a chosen few can win. How do we break free from that invisible cage?
To inherit the beliefs of the collective is to be restricted by the limitations of the collective. Society creates a hive mind, right? A collective frequency that relentlessly demands conformity to its truths. Truths about market limitations, about scarcity, about financial struggle, about the inherent difficulty of achieving consistent profit. If you unconsciously accept these collective ideas, if you buy into them, you are bound by them. They become your personal reality.
So if the world believes the market is rigged, or that consistent profit is impossible for the average trader, or that you need massive capital to win, and you accept that belief, you're destined to prove it right in your own reality. You become a prisoner of the consensus, enslaved by collective limitations.
Yes, absolutely. You cannot have the same state of consciousness, the same internal frequency as the average losing trader and expect your reality to be different. It just won't happen. To be an exception in trading, to stand out as a consistently profitable trader among the struggling masses, you must first be an exception mentally. This means being bad, unapologetically accepting that you will be different, perhaps even crazy in the eyes of the collective. It means transcending common sense logic, which is often just a collective limitation masquerading as truth, as wisdom. How often do we see seemingly talentless musicians who are immensely successful commanding massive audiences, or those who are apparently unqualified for a position somehow obtaining that very position with ease? For some, the conventional rules, the collective limitations, simply don't apply. It's not about them being lucky. It's about their subconscious frequency defying collective limitations, operating from a place of unwavering internal certainty. You must identify these specific collective beliefs surrounding trading. Trading is gambling. Only insiders win. You need huge capital to succeed. The market is too volatile, and consciously decide to detach from them. Make peace with being different. Make peace with being seen as unrealistic or ignorant by the masses. Your freedom depends on it.
This means cutting ties, mentally and energetically, with the very beliefs that keep the masses stuck in a cycle of loss and struggle. But what is the ultimate limit on a trader's success? The final, hidden barrier that holds even the most determined back from true market mastery.
Self-worth. Self-worth is your energetic ceiling, the invisible barrier determining the absolute limits of what you can materialize in reality. You don't rise to the heights of your conscious desires, you fall to your unconscious level of self-worth. If you unconsciously, deep down, feel undeserving of massive profits, of effortless abundance, they will never truly find you. You may consciously believe you deserve millions. You might say the affirmations. But if your subconscious knows only struggle from past intensely felt emotional experiences, if it associates true wealth with unworthiness or danger, then that deeply ingrained knowing is your true ceiling.
So knowing transcends belief. It's not about what I tell myself I deserve, but what my deepest emotional experiences have taught me I am worthy of. And if that's tied to external validation, my P&L, other people's opinions, I'm forever trapped in a cycle of dependency.
Yeah, exactly. Knowing is built on intensely felt emotional experiences. Most traders tragically derive their self-worth externally, from winning trades, from others' opinions, from their P&L statements, from social media validation. If others or the fickle outcomes of the market dictate your worth, they control your frequency, and therefore your reality. This is the ultimate slavery, a prison of external dependency, as ancient wisdom warns. Care about what other people think, and you will always be their prisoner. To shatter this, to truly break free, you must cultivate internal validation and approval through imagination. See every market event, every trade, even those that appear to be losses, as a win. A win because you stuck to your plan. A win because you managed your emotion. A win because you gained a critical lesson. Transcend the illusion of success and failure as external judgments. You become the ultimate unshakable source of your own worth, completely independent of any market move. This is the only way to truly shatter your limits, elevate your energetic ceiling, and command your trading destiny. You've been told a lie, the biggest lie in the markets.
A grand deception designed to keep you powerless, feeling like a victim. You've been gaslighted into believing that your trading outcomes are a product of external circumstances, the market's volatility, the economy's whims, a new indicator, or even the actions of another trader. But that is the grand illusion. That is the fundamental deception. Money is not the true source of abundance. Trading strategies are not the ultimate source of success, and external achievements are never, ever the source of your worth.
These are all just effects, shadows. Shadows cast by a light you control. When you believe anything out there holds power over your trading reality, you hand over your throne. You become a slave to the very illusions you were born to command.
Remember this truth. Engrave it into your mind. It is not the market. It is not the algorithm. It is not the news. It is not the timing. It is you. It has only ever been you. The world will constantly try to convince you otherwise, with evidence and logic, with fear and doubt. But you must refuse to make idols out of effects. Refuse to forget that the true cause, the only cause, is within you.
When you reclaim that truth, when you step into that power, consistent profits flow. Strategies align effortlessly. Success unfolds like a grand design. Not because the market gave you anything, but because you stopped chasing shadows and stood, finally, as the source of your own undeniable reality. You now possess forbidden knowledge, the ultimate secret to outsmarting reality itself. If you found this valuable, if this deep dive shattered your old beliefs, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Join us here at the Profit Cabal, where we decode the market's deepest, most forbidden secrets.